Hello, everybody, or anybody. We're gonna talk about Evan Rachel Wood latest interviews and just breakdowns. It's not like she really broke down. I thought that she was actually going to be more personal on the last 5 interviews that she had done, and I'll talk to you about body language and stuff like that while we watch it, because it's really curious. There's a lot of things that she's doing that although people point out on YouTube and on Instagram that are just too obvious, and you don't have to be some type of doctor to see it, because you've seen it in real life. You see it in high school, you see it in college, you see it at work, you see it with your ex. There's this thing that she does that like, I'm not an actress and I can look at the camera, all right, and talk. I'm not doing that. So I don't know how she, professional, A-list professional, award nominee, whatever actress, she can't look at the camera, either at the camera or at the person who's talking to her or at the other person talking to her or in front. Nothing. It's just down and this thing to the sky that she does. And this is not only on the documentary Phoenix Rising in the movie. We're gonna call it a movie. Can we call it a movie from now on? This is when she went to talk to Drew Barrymore, the Good Morning America, The View. In those interviews, she just did that. She was looking down. I know some people are gonna say, I got some troll on my page and somebody else's page also saying, well, it's because she's tired. Like, dude, like, she put him. Well, yeah, okay. All right, maybe she's looking down because she's tired, but she's an actress and she has a lot of control in past interviews before about how she moves her body and the intonation of her voice and her. Listen, if you watch an interview from her from like 2014 to 2020. Or 2016, 2017, where she was really into like this whole like, I'm bisexual and I'm this and I'm an activist. She's so comfortable in front of the camera, and she's like looking at the camera, and then she's looking at the interview person, and she's looking into the eyes of the person who's talking to her. She's like all engaged and involved with the camera because that's what she does. So how come she was doing that just fine, and now she just became this very like shy little thing, I mean, you're about to be 40 years old, and I don't want to age shame because I'm older than her, but it's like, nobody's gonna buy that. Well, yeah, some people are buying it, but I'm not, and I know some people out there are not either. And for whoever said, somebody said in one of the comments something about how I'm wholesome or homely. He said, or she, I don't know, it's probably a guy or a girl. I don't know. You tell me who the fuck you are. But you said something like, oh, why is there so many middle-aged women obsessed with this case? Okay. I wonder if that person will make the same comment on Popcorn Planet to Andy, to John on E-Hacker. Will you make that same comment to a male? What's the problem? What, I can't talk about medicine because I'm a woman? That's what you're trying to say. This weirdo made that comment like at least 3 times in different videos, and he said I was very homely, not lonely but homely. So here I am. I decided to sit on my rug and be so wholesome right now. For anybody out there that thinks that people like me at my age and my gender, which is I'm a female, I don't supposed to talk about this. I don't think you're going out there to the big boys and making that comment on their channel. If you are, you are, but I don't think you are. And you know who I'm talking about. Because I'm not gonna block nobody. Because I don't do that. I'm not gonna block nobody. I want to engage in a conversation. The thing with these people is that if we start we're already starting a bad foot, as people telling me that, oh, why I'm so obsessed with Manson. I'm mid-age and a mother, and what does it matter? Doesn't matter if I'm a mother, if I'm single, if I'm married, if I have kids, if I am whatever I happen to be. I can be Martha fucking Stewart, and I'm still going to talk about this, okay? So that's problematic, that people will think that people like me or Kristen, or other women on YouTube, the awesome, amazing women on YouTube are doing this. We're supposed to just not even touch the subject because we're women. That's hello. That's more reason to actually touch the subject. That's it. You're welcome, troll. I gave you a little bit of time. And then there's some people making comments in my videos and all the videos out there, like not mine, but the big channels out there saying, well, how you guys know? And to that I gotta say, well, how you know? How you know that she's telling the truth? Somebody actually went as far as saying that Manson faked the FBI letter in his court filing. Oh my gosh. Like, if he did that, he's not only gonna get into, well, not only he's gonna be more canceled than ever, but he can go to jail for doing that. And do you think that the guy who is already in the dirt, because he's already been canceled, everybody freaking hates him, do you think that his lawyer is gonna be so dumb to fake an FBI letter and say that Gore and Wood faked the FBI letter and put it in there? With all the things that he can say about Ilma and Evan, why will you go as far as fake and say that they fake it and you fake it? It makes no fucking sense whatsoever. I'm sorry. I don't think the Manson, and I don't think his lawyer is so dumb to do that. So you out there telling me that Manson is the one faking letters, which if he is, that is going to be a big crime for him, because using that as in a filing is even worse than what Ilma Gore did. But he's not faking nothing. He's presenting what he has. The reason that his lawyer cannot give us dates and exact dates and everything is because, dude, that's what happens. Okay, try to go into Britney Spears case. Go on the LA Court website and go. You won't be able to. That's what happens to people of this caliber of fame. It's not that they're being shady because they're lying. They're not being shady. They just have to certain things they have to keep them to themselves. Because guess what happened? For example, like when that girl Gabby Petito was missing, and then she passed away, which she was killed, right, by the boyfriend. Do you guys remember, including me, I was saying like, what the fuck, FBI? Why you not presenting us with the report from the morgue and the autopsy and all that? Why you not doing this, FBI? And then I realized why they're not doing it. They're not doing it because if they do that, then the person who's watching, he could be the killer. In this case, it was a boyfriend, but at that moment we didn't know. Can say, oh look, they already know this. So now if they ask me questions, I'm gonna say that I don't know this and that. So that's why the FBI doesn't go on TV or on social media saying, well, yeah, Evan was here, or yes, Manson was here and he said this and that. There's a reason they don't do that. They can't do that. And it's not because they're lying or being shady. It's because if they do that, it can be used against them. Blah, 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 blah. I think that was pretty obvious, but I still have to say it, because some people go like, well, if the FBI is involved in Manson's side, why they're not saying anything? Why they're not saying? Probably they're not going to. Probably they're not going to until they get outed to go to a trial, and then they will say everything. And then they probably will say things like, oh, we don't know who this Ilma Gore person is. We only talked to her on the phone. We went to the address because we heard disturbances. They were fake. The paparazzi is the same thing. The paparazzi might have a little bit more freedom to talk, but the FBI is not going to say anything to make us feel better on this side or on the Everett Wood side. They're not going to. So stop waiting. And that's because, not because they're scared. The FBI is not scared of anything. It's because, whatever they said, it can be used against whoever, Ilma, Evan, or Manson. That's why. I know it's pretty obvious, but sometimes it feels like you have to just do the obvious. So, right, so I'm just doing a video here. I'm like being for 9 minutes talking, looking at the camera, looking at my computer, right? I'm not an actress or anything like that, so I don't understand how she is not able to do it. Not only that, but she cannot stay focused, and she keeps doing this And I'm not making fun of people with Tourette's, the people that have problems like that, because I mean, I know plenty. But she doesn't have none of that. And like I'm saying, just go back and look at her interviews when she was all proud of her sexuality and talking about what she was going to do for women, and she was talking about her pregnancy, and there's some interviews she was even talking about Jamie Bell, and she's all animated, she's not looking down or up, she's looking at the camera. So there's something is up with this. I mean, it's like, it's just this I think this is like the worst performance of her career, to tell you the truth. Maybe the movie, during the movie she was being good. She was like taking you to all this range of emotions, but on these interviews that she's been doing with Drew Barrymore, Good Morning America, The View, whoever her PR person is needs to tell her, Evan, start speaking up, look at the camera, or look at the audience, or look at the host, do something, because like, it's so vague. If you don't know her, if you didn't know her as a celebrity, you would not give it 2 minutes. You would be like, oh, this person is full of shit. I'm just saying, like, just because we know her, and we know her as a serious actress, because she's not like a Kim Kardashian where she's a serious actress. If you didn't have that, if you didn't know that, you would not give her more than 2 minutes, even without watching the movie. So I'm gonna go on their interviews right now, and I'm going to like kind of show you exactly what I'm talking about. Okay, we're gonna react to this together, because I'm not looking at it, I'm just gonna listen to it.
Perfect person. We all make mistakes, and that's why I was very, proud of my parents for putting themselves out there like this. And, I know my parents grew up in a time where therapy was seen as something to be ashamed of, and it meant you were crazy, and nobody talked about these feelings. There was a sort of a different approach to parenting, which is just like, do as I say, not as I do, like, don't speak until you're spoken to,
wait. Okay, go back to that. I don't know why I haven't watched this yet. I'm like trying just to listen to it, but I am not gonna purchase the Drew Barrymore show. I can't freaking stand her. Sorry, I'm hating on you, Drew. I'm sorry. I don't like the show. So I don't know if the clip I have is just only a few minutes, or she gave Evan only a few minutes. But I'm gonna look that up so I know exactly what I'm doing. But it seems like she started talking about her parents right off the bat, which has been my theory for the last 2 weeks. I've been saying that this is a big parent, this is a big therapy freaking session, which she's been doing for like the last week and a half. So I'm going to try to see if, I'm trying not to watch it, but I'm going to try to see if the clip starts there, because that was very bizarre that she started talking about her parents right off the bat. I think that she's trying to, okay, I know what she's doing. She's trying to appeal to Drew Barrymore, past. We know that Drew has, she got some shitty freaking parents. That's just not me saying it, it's known. And maybe that's what she's trying to appeal to. I don't know if Drew Barrymore was ever abused or not. I don't know, I don't want to say. But she's trying to do the sympathy thing. I mean, like, oh, you're an actress, I'm an actress, and you're my age, I'm like, we're the same age. Oh, you're a mom, I'm a mom too. Oh, your parents were assholes, my parents are assholes too. I think that's what she's trying to do. The more that she talks about her parents, this is what, like, if I was like her PR person or whatever, I will say, Evan, stop talking about your parents, because I'm not the only one out here or out there on Instagram or on YouTube, on Twitter, the things that this whole thing it's not about Manson. The more she talks about her parents, and the more she shows, she's not showing anything, but she's talking about how she grew up, and how much of a selfish person her dad is. I'm sorry, but I don't like the guy more than, I mean, I didn't like the guy before, now I really don't. And how she told her dad when she was in the mental hospital, her dad didn't even go in to see her. Her mom didn't do nothing about it when she was with Manson. These people seem very selfish and very disturbed, and they seem like they don't care about her. And I'm not saying because I feel bad for Evan, okay? But I'm just kind of feel bad for anybody who's in that situation, maybe including Evan too. I think that's what this shit is about. This is not about Manson. Lily, you need to do that. Yeah, we're not professionals. We're doing this. Like I was told in the comments. Why are you so homely at home and middle-aged woman obsessed with Manson? This I'm showing you. I even have black curtains. I must be a rapist or something. Look, I'm wearing black. So scary. Anyway, let me just go back to the Drew Barrymore show. I don't understand why she... Okay, we're going to start from the beginning. Now I got it.
There's a line in the documentary that blew my mind so hard. When your parents are fighting and you're growing up around that and your father says...
we fight because we love each other. This is what people who are in love do. I was so young when I heard it, and it stuck with me, and it clearly affected my mother. And I've spoken to my father about this since, and you know, in that moment, maybe he was thinking he was saying the right thing to try to calm down a young child. But you know, it's these moments and these things that you know, for me, the hardest part, I always tell people as a parent, is the things you pass on to your children that you don't mean to. And it's unavoidable. It's just, there's no perfect parent, there's no perfect survivor, there's no perfect person. You know, we all make mistakes, and that's why I was very, you know, proud of my parents for putting themselves out there like this. And you know, I know my parents grew up in a time where therapy was seen as something to be.
Whoa, okay. If I didn't know any better, I would think that she's having a manic episode, but I think she's just nervous and talking very fast. I probably will too if I was talking to Drew Barrymore. I could barely talk to that woman. How can you? She's like unsufferable. But anyway, I don't hate Drew as much as I don't like Evan, but I'm just both of them at the same time. It's like I can barely watch it. It's just like self-pity party. It's like I knew how it is to have bad parents and be in Hollywood. I know also how it is to have bad parents and be in Hollywood. Anyway, 4 minutes in, she is just talking about her parents. I'm not saying you shouldn't, okay? That is the main, the way you recover, no matter what people tell you, no matter what type of freaking new age yoga recovery method that you're gonna do, or typical psychoanalysis, or psychiatrist, or you're gonna go to a neurologist, or you're gonna go to have your brain examined for freaking whatever, or you're gonna do regular harm reduction therapy, or you're going to do trauma-based therapy. Whatever you do, you're going to understand, you're going to see it, that everything goes back to our childhood, no matter if we like it or not. It all goes back to our parents. Maybe you didn't have parents, grandparents, uncle, aunt. Sometimes your parents are really good to you, but sometimes your brothers and sisters are fucked up to you. You know, they're just fucked. So it goes back to that. So I agree that I don't think it's a bad thing that she's talking about this, but I think it takes merit of the other stuff that she's trying to convince everybody of, that he was such a monster. Because right now, even from what I'm seeing that the monster is somebody else, and it's not. There's a few. I think there's a few things that the system or her family fail her on, and I think Hollywood is. I'm counting Hollywood as a monster as well. Especially when you are 12 years old, 13, 14, 15, 16, and you're thrown to make these movies that talk about drugs and cutting and kissing boys when you're not even of age. And you know who signed for all that? Her mom. You don't sign yourself in a movie contract when you're 15 years old. You just don't. That was her mom. You know who took her to LA for North Carolina? Took her away from her parents. This is not just me freaking saying it. She says it. Took her away from her dad and her brother. Took her to LA. My daughter has blue eyes and she's blonde and she's gonna be an actress. Her mom. So I'm not gonna say the N-word. The narcissistic general thing everybody throws out there. But I do believe, this is my beliefs only, that her mom and her dad are hardcore, selfish, narcissistic parents, and they only wanted money, and if anybody was abusing her or pimping her out, that was her mom. My opinion. I'm sorry if I get heat up with this, because I'm a mom and I have a daughter, and I won't ever in a million years ever let my daughter work in a movie like 13, you know? I mean, unless she was like way of age, you know, but not 13. She was 16 when she worked in 13. If you've seen the movies, 13 is a good movie, but I wish they were using older actresses for this, and I'm saying way older, because this thing, I think, it messed her up in the head the most. Who signed you up for that movie? Your mom did. So I'm sorry. If you're gonna be mad at anybody, okay, Lily. She doesn't like when we talk about this either. There she is. Go up the window. Go. I got black curtains. I'm such an abuser. I abuse everybody in my house. Black curtains. I got to have black curtains. It's freaking hot outside. It's sunny every day. Damn. Anyway. Sasha has been raining, so she's looking at the window. Okay. I'm gonna stop interrupting, but I can't play this for too long without getting in trouble, so that's why I keep cutting it. Until now, all I hear is Evan talking about her parents, which is fine, but maybe that the documentary should have been about that, you know?
Of, and it meant you were crazy, and nobody talked about these feelings. There was a sort of a different approach to parenting, which is just like, do as I say, not as I do, you know, like, don't speak until you're spoken to, you know, that kind of
thing. There was.
Too.
Exactly.
And that's what is so incredible about the journey that you do open up with around this incredible subject of what you went through by including your family and how you've grown up and learned together as a unit. Now, then your
Drew
mom
Barrymore
and dad split up. You guys go to Los Angeles. Your dad and your brother stay in North Carolina.
That's what I was saying.
And you are 19 when you meet this person.
Wait,
so
Drew.
captivating.
Wait. She just jumped it. She jumped it, this girl. She went from like, well, your mom moved you to LA, took you away from your father and your brother. Moved you to LA when you were 13. Well, and then you were 19 and you met this person. Girl, I'm sorry. From 13 to 19, a lot of things happened to Evan Richard Wood. That's my opinion. They had to do with that abuse, the movie she was doing, her psychological state. She was living by herself in an apartment. This is not me making it up. She said this in plenty of interviews. She was like, I felt like I was the shit. I had my own apartment when I was 15, and I have, like, a girl should not have her own apartment at 15 in LA or anywhere, man, anywhere. So the fact that she thought that was a cool thing and now she thinks it's a bad thing, again, Drew Barrymore is jumping from 13 to 19th, and to me, like, the meat and the potatoes of this problem happen in that time, not after 19, between 13 and 19th. We're probably never going to know exactly what happened to Evan, but I'm telling you, it has a lot to do with Hollywood. It has a lot to do with the movies she was doing, with her psychological state of mind at the moment, having, like, probably nobody helping her out, because the only person that she knew was her mom, and her mom was pimping her out to make these movies, because she didn't catch money, right? Because she was young and pretty and talented. I'm having a really bad, I'm not triggered, but I'm having really bad feelings about her mom right now and the way things went down. And Drew Barrymore is full of shit because she doesn't want to talk about that. She wants to talk about Manson. So she's going from, okay, you went to LA at 13, you met Manson at 19. Things happen in the middle, and I think those are the things that my gut feeling is telling me that that's where the conflict is coming from. But I guess we're never going to know the truth, probably. Just keep listening to her.
So alluring. This man is giving you cameras. You know, you think you're making art.
Yes.
You're in a place where you can, like, do some substances, feel free, take every, feel that abandonment, that wildness. Was that a part of like the entry point?
Of course, yeah. You lure people in with this promise of, this is a better way. This is freedom. This is how you can be who you really are. We're going to have fun. We're going to do this a different way.
And you did.
I think that's what drew me to Brian, because I thought, wow, look what he's doing for young people, and the way, he's like challenging, the status quo and social norms. And so that's what...
Oh my God, pause it. Because I'm reacting at the same time. I didn't watch this until now. The status quo. Look what he's doing for young people. What the fuck has to do with anything? Even if the guy wasn't Manson, if the guy was an actor, if the guy was a writer, if the guy was a painter, not a musician that does things for, because we all know what Manson did for all of us and whoever, if you know. But that doesn't need to be brought up. What difference it makes? If you got rape, you got rape. By a rock star, or by a director, or by the cable man. All right, she needs to bring that up to make her case more grandiose, and say like, I was allured to him because I saw what he was doing for young people. What the fuck has to do with anything? My gosh, I should have watched this before doing this video, because I'm just getting too mad. Right, just deep breath. Okay.
I looked at him as a mentor,
and
somebody...
it's sexy and it's hot. He's in front of all these crowds. You buy in, you
it's
drink
hot.
the Kool-Aid.
You drink the Kool-Aid. And the analogy we often use is, it's the lobster slowly boiling in the pot. You don't just stick it straight into the boiling water. You stick it in, cold water, and you're just slowly turning the heat up until suddenly you're like... I'm sorry, are you cooking me alive? And that is sort of the analogy for...
Oh my God, you guys. And the faces that she's making while she's saying this. First of all, she's smiling the whole time. I never seen, well, I guess I don't want to say, because a lot of people cope by making jokes. I'm one of them. And smiling, make jokes. So I don't know about saying that about her, though. But I don't know if because she's in front of Drew Barrymore, and Drew Barrymore is... You looked at her and you freaking laugh, because she's just... So, I don't know why, but Evan is like smiling to this whole thing. And there's a live audience on the show. Like, for example, because, okay, here's Drew, right? She's talking to Drew, and right here there's an audience. So I can see Evan doing this and talking to the audience. So maybe by the time that she did this interview, which is a couple days ago, somebody from PR said, hey, stop looking down at your nails. So maybe that's why she's doing it. Or maybe now she's more awake. Maybe she got some coffee in her system. I don't know. Or some of that, Snow White that you're doing. Allegedly. And I'm not saying that she's high right now. That was a joke, okay? And I'm not saying that she's under the influence of... this is not even Ilma Gore issue. This is not even about the movie. This is just her sitting there with Drew Barrymore gossiping. That's why I want to do a separate video like this than the videos that I'm doing about Phoenix Rising, because this is just gossiping between these two. Oh, I'm an actress too. I'm a mom. Oh, my parents sucked. I grew up in Hollywood. It was so sad. It was so sad. It was so hard. Okay, I'm not saying it wasn't, but it was for all of us. Whatever you happen to be in New York, you happen to be in Canada, you happen to be in California, you happen to be in France, you happen to be in Italy, you happen to be in the Middle East. It's hard for all of us, okay? Actors or non-actors. So stop with this whole, well, you gotta understand, my parents were actors, and you gotta understand that we didn't know about therapy. That, for example, right there is such a clusterfuck of contradiction. Because people usually, they are in the arts, like her parents were both actors, and her father owns a fucking theater in North Carolina. People that are in the arts, they usually are therapy people, and they usually, I know that because I know plenty, and they usually are open-minded enough to go to therapy. So I don't know, she's trying to make her parents sound like there's like, they're farmers or something, which would be nothing wrong with that. But she's making it sound like they didn't do therapy. What I tell you is what you have to do, discipline, blah blah blah. But at the same time, in different interviews through the years, she talked about how open-minded her parents were. So I don't think one goes with the other one, but it's more of the massive amount of lying. I do believe that her parents are open-minded, and I do believe that her parents believe in therapy, and I think she's exaggerating where she's making them sound like they're living a farm in the middle of nowhere. The place she's from is not middle of nowhere. Raleigh is a city. Her dad has a theater, okay? A theater, like the guy owns the building, a theater, right? People coming in and out. It's a small town, but it's a small city, okay? She's not from middle of nowhere, middle of the mountain in Montana, or like, whatever, up on the hill. No, she was around people. Her parents seem like sophisticated people. They don't seem like, neck of the woods. Oh no, therapy is for crazy people. You don't want to do that. Therapy is for crazy people, like just whatever. Like we don't do that because we're not weak. They are in the arts. They were open-minded enough to send her to LA to be an actress. Are you gonna tell me they were opposed to therapy? She needs to think before she talks. I think all of us need to learn one thing or two from Evan, and Drew Barrymore. But like, think about that. It's either one or the other. Either your parents were super close-minded, live in the middle of nowhere, or your parents were artists and open-minded, and you were exposed to all this liberal, cool, awesome things, including therapy. Because that's kind of what we do. If you live in a, she doesn't live in the middle of nowhere. Raleigh, you look it up on the map. Raleigh, North Carolina. It's not a small little tiny town. She's trying to play that narrative over and over, but she forgets what she said in interviews about her hometown before. Again, I think that's a big lie. I don't think her parents were opposed to therapy, or they were into discipline and no therapy. I think that's just part of her Alice in Wonderland fantasy that she's having. But okay, let's just finish this mess.
Gaslighting and grooming and brainwashing, and that you're lured into this false sense of security at first. And this is why abusive relationships can be so complicated, because so much of the abuse is disguised as love, and that this is for your own good, or you don't know what you're talking about. Somebody really takes control, and is somebody that felt so inferior to everybody my whole life, and like,
she's not saying anything new. We all know that. We all know that's what happens. Anybody who's been in the situation knows what she's talking about. So thank you. I don't know. Thank you for the advice.
Just conditioned not to trust myself and to trust the adults in the room. And then I dated somebody that was 20 years older than me. To me, he's the adult in the room, and he probably knows better than me. And so they made me trust them. They were telling me things that happened to them, and then you feel like, oh wow, they've shared something so intimate. I'm going to share.
Look what she just did. Did you see what she did? He said, and I was always the small person with all the adults in the room, and in this case, he was the adult in the room. So I had to do what he said because now he was the adult. Oh my God. I know, like at that age, when you were 17, 18, 19, you don't got all the dogs in a row, but you are not a child. And she needs to stop this bullshit. She's been doing this since before Phoenix Rising. Going saying that Manson was the adult in the room and she wasn't. First of all, that is a big lie, and that is that can be proven. You are actually an adult. You're 19. You're an adult. You might not be a smart adult. You may be just not be able to. I really wasn't. Dude, I didn't know what the hell I wanted in life when I was 19. So I get it. In a point, I get what she's trying to say, but at the same time, when she uses the adult word, the wording is very important. Pay attention to the way she talks. She doesn't know how to look at the camera. She doesn't know how to be like, She keeps being nervous, but the way that is so rehearsed, what she's saying is so rehearsed. So she's saying pretty much, you just heard it. I was always the only child in a room full of adults. And in this case, Brian was the adult. No, Evan. You were also the adult. My God, it's so much denial. I don't. Anyway, keep going.
Something so intimate, and then you start giving up your secrets, your vulnerabilities, and it's the wolf in sheep's clothing.
That's your
They're
decision.
sitting there, saying, "Yeah, no, absolutely."
That's your decision to give up to your partner and to open your heart to your partner. That's your decision. You can't blame and scream rape at every partner that you have that you gave your secrets to. You can't. You just can't. And you shouldn't, because sometimes we open up to people. It doesn't mean they're going to attack us later.
Really, they're mining information, and they're going, okay, so that's what she's insecure about. Okay, she's got this relationship that's broken down in her life. I can attack that, and then okay, that's what she's afraid of. So I'll just feed into that. And we don't think this way, and so we can't imagine that somebody else would, but people do. When you are a kind, altruistic, loving, caring person, you don't believe that other people are out to get you. No.
Oh my God, Drew. Did you hear that? Did you hear the way she talked to her?
That's why you can't see it. And you want way, and so we can't imagine that somebody else would.
Listen to Drew Barrymore kissing her ass.
When you are a kind, altruistic, loving, caring person, you don't believe that other people are out to get you. No. Innocent. That's why you can't see it. And you want the best out of people. Yes.
I'm not gonna subscribe. Okay, it's obvious. My thing with Drew Barrymore, I just don't. I don't like her vibe. Whatever. That's my problem. That's my problem. Everything is my problem. My opinions, my beliefs. Don't be saying stupid shit out there, telling me that I am defending a rapist and whatever, and I shouldn't have done it because I'm a woman, and why Kristen is doing it, and why I'm doing it, and why Greta is doing it. You should actually understand that this is not about a person that I like, his music or not. I like Johnny Depp as much as I like the next actor, okay? This is about justice, and this is about, like, would you like for this to happen to your best friend, or to your brother? Would you like that? Would you like a bunch of women to cancel your brother and his livelihood and talk shit and send your brother to jail and get everybody against him? Would you like that? So just ask yourself that even if it wasn't Manson, I'll be saying the same thing. So when you go to things on YouTube, videos on YouTube and Instagram pages like Leslie and Kristen or my videos or whatever, and post things to us like, I can't believe you guys defending this guy, you're a woman, you shouldn't. That is more right there. You proving to us that you don't have nothing on the nugget. Because if you think like that, if you think that we have to not defend him because we're women, but it's okay for E-Hacker and the Popcorn Planet and all those people to defend them because they are guys, so it's okay if they defend them, and it's not okay if we do. That's not helping us. That's putting us down a lot as women. So especially if I notice the people that are making these comments in the comment section of various videos are women, or at least they have a female name or a little female picture. So it's very curious. I guess I'm not supposed to say a damn thing. Anyway, so that was Drew Barrymore and Everett to Wood a couple days ago. My gosh, that was hard to listen to. And I know I was talking a lot, but it's because I don't want to get in trouble. And last time I did that with The View, I got to take my video down because The View had an issue with it. And I wasn't even playing the images. I was just playing the sound. So also I stopped it a bunch of times, and also because I'm so enraged with her and I can't. As much as I want to be empathetic about the family, the parents thing, and I am mad. I'm mad at her dad and her mom because I think they did this to her. This is my theory, and my theory only. And when Drew jumps from 13th to 19th, she's not remembering that is the moment. That's when Evan did all this, and I won't say adult like porn or even sexual content movies, but like dark subjects, you know. And she made this movie with Edward Norton when she was 16. And Drew Barrymore's not talking about that. Of course, she's not going to mention Edward Norton. They're probably friends or whatever. She's not going to mention how fucked up Hollywood is. Drew Barrymore is not going to say that. So don't jump from 13 to 19. That's like a chunk of time that a lot of things happen to this person. And I'm not defending Evan. I'm just trying to be as logical as I can, because that's kind of what I do. I don't want to sit here and say, I don't like Evan because I don't like the way she talks, or I don't like Esme Bianco because I don't like her accent. I don't like Ashley Morgan because she got plastic surgery. I don't give a fuck about stuff like that. I'm just listening to what they say. And it's been nonsense. It's been a lot of nonsense. And that's only one interview. We got at least 3 more to go. So thank you if you were able to watch this, not only because I'm all over the place and angry, but also because of Drew Barrymore's and Evan's weirdness. And again, what I get from it is a girl that has a lot of problems with her family. That's what I get from it. And that's my opinion, and that's just my beliefs. Thank you for watching, and we do a next one probably right after this one. I need more tea because this woman, oh my gosh. Thank you.